That's fine. 'Cause what? I hate Gibson too. And their guitars suck ass. Your guitars are plywood. This is a house of learned luthiers. You're not a luthier. You're a big fat overpriced fuck. Oh yeah? I'm an overpriced fuck. Yeah, you better not go to sleep. Because as soon as you shut your eyes, I'm gonna break your headstock. I hope you stay still when you sleep. Cause I'm gonna take a G-string and wrap it right around your nuts. I'm gonna take a pillowcase full of your shitty PAF pickups and beat the shit out of you. I want you out of my fucking house. No way, China hater. This is my house now.
Hello guys and welcome back to Fulton Street Beats. I hope you enjoyed that little comical intro. Sometimes we like to have a little bit of fun and show just kind of like, you know, what's out there. We got a lot of negativity on the channel. We got a lot of negativity on both sides, and sometimes it's nice to make light and add some humor. Even though this is technically, I guess people would say, not a Chibson, but it kind of is too. And let me tell you why. Because as you all know, when Eddie Van Halen first built his frankenstrat, which was actually Frankenstein, he called it. He didn't call it a Frankenstein, he called it a Frankenstein guitar. And that's what he called it, because he Frankensteined a guitar together using Gibson parts and boogie body parts. So he actually had originally a Gibson logo on the headstock and at the heart of the guitar. And I call it the heart of the guitar because it was the center of the guitar. There was a pickup from a Gibson ES335 that he wax potted and put in there. And as we all know, this pickup did not work up here and the switch didn't work. So we had a direct wired pickup to, well, a volume pot that he put a tone knob on. And so for all intents and purposes, really, the guitar wasn't even a Fender. Even it was a Fender look, I guess we could call it a Fender style guitar, but it was boogie body. And at the time, boogie body had no affiliation with Fender whatsoever, or EVH, or any of it. So keep that in mind. So really at the heart of the guitar was a Gibson pickup. So that's why he put the Gibson, he wanted a little cross pollination. And that's what he did. He put Gibson on the headstock, and maybe we'll do that sometime too. So I want to tell you that introduction that you just saw of me playing this, this was room sound. We did this with room sound, running through a Catalyst Line 6 flagship model amp, room sound, recording it with a cheap microphone overhead from, of all places, Temu. That's right. It was a knockoff microphone. We even used a knockoff microphone to record this with. And I'm sitting I'm like this far away from the amplifier. I have the gain up pretty high. A lot of reverb on there. This is at 10. And I was using a wireless system. I just pulled it out. It was right here. This wireless system right here. Speaking of that, I better shut this one off before we run our batteries dead. Back on the amp. So that is how close the amp is to this. ceiling fans running. We have everything pretty much the way it shouldn't be for a recording. And why did I do that? Because I wanted to show you what kind of feedback or what kind of interference we would get with every possible scenario that I have. I literally have everything in the studio turned on and running. Lots of lights, every outlet is being used and things are turned on because I wanted to see how much interference and how badly this pickup and electronics would be in this guitar. Now keep in mind, I've changed this potentiometer to an EVH 500 low friction pot, which remarkably was very low friction when I got it, but actually made a scraping sound. And since then, the friction has gotten more tense and there's no scraping sound. I found that very odd, but it does work well. It does sound good. I still think it's a fantastic guitar. Is it like an EVH? It's not. It's got a different neck. It's a lot fatter. This is like an old, chunky Fender style neck on this. And I know the people that have ordered these guitars are going to go, they're getting all over the place with their necks. Some have truss rod adjustments down here. Some have them up here, like mine is. Some have a shelf overhang on their fretboard, like I do. Some do not. So they're all over the place. I guess, what happened was they got so many orders after my video and after Fender threw a fit about me putting up a video because the guitar had stripes. Yeah. They tried to dictate that what I was going to show on my channel for unboxings, and that's not going to happen. First off, I didn't know what the guitar was going to look like until I unboxed it, and I have a right to unbox a guitar and disseminate it to you, so we did that, no matter what anybody says. So we did that. We'll continue to do that, and this is the guitar. I'm showing it again, loud and proud, in charge, and ain't taking no feedback. See that? That's right. Very good looking. I've done a lot to this guitar. I say a lot, mostly cosmetic stuff other than the pot. I did, of course, change the strings. We went to some Ernie Ball custom stainless steel strings. Why? Because they just resonate so well over this hot pickup. I haven't changed the pickup. So the pickup you're hearing is the pickup that came in this. Would you guys get the same pickup? I don't know, because who knows? The necks are all over the place. I don't know what the build quality is or how fast they had to get these things out. I have not changed the tuners as of yet. I don't even know if I'm going to tell you the truth. I don't think I'm going to be ever purchasing another EVH part for anything, simply because of the whole debacle and the hard time that they tried to give me. But we do have an EVH. This is our prior. When I bought the guitar, I started ordering parts, and hopefully they'd fit because I wanted to bring that to you. So to let you know, this appears to be a legitimate Floyd Rose 2. Now, for those of you who say there's no way it's a Floyd Rose 2, keep in mind they're made in China. They're very inexpensive. It's like the lowest end Floyd Rose that there is. And these ones probably are very old, and that's why they appear to be relict for these builds. So why wouldn't they? They're not expensive. They're not. It's not a German Floyd Rose. It's nothing like that. It's just a Floyd Rose 2, and they're very inexpensive. All the parts on my other Floyd Roses, right down to the block, would fit on this, so it makes sense. And the EVH detuna did go right on here. No fuss, no muss. It is holding very well. The only thing I did change is the bar, as you can see, because I put a nickel one on it because it's a little bit lower. I used a newer style and went a little bit lower because I like my whammy bar a touch lower. So I did that. I did have an issue with a little grounding issue with the jack when I got the guitar. I think I showed that in a video. So I rewired the jack really quick, installed the 500K pot. I have added the duct tape pick strip right here. It's just a rolled piece of duct tape. Stuck some picks to it just for the look. I've added the cover over this pickup here. This is the pickup that came in it, and I just added a cover over it. It's a pretty cool guitar. I've added the cigarette burns on top. I put a couple more scrapes in. I have angled the string tree bar, and I've drilled more holes. I've broken the reflector. I've drilled holes according to the pictures that I could find online to how his was. I've added some blue paint around this guitar, and as you can see, it's a thick chunky neck, but it is comfortable. I can't. Now, this guitar came with quite a bit of relicking stain on the neck. I've taken off a lot of that, and it's made a lot faster of a neck and not as sticky. If you get these, you guys might notice that they're a bit sticky, especially on a fresh build, right? Might be a little bit sticky. This one has jumbo frets, and they're done very well. I don't know what you guys are getting, but this one is jumbo frets. They're done really well. Didn't require a lot of work. I don't even think I had to turn the truss rod on this, but maybe I'm wrong. Another issue I did have with this guitar, we have to be totally transparent, is the locking nut. At first, it was fine until I went to tune up the guitar a few times, and then I kept breaking high E strings on this guitar, and that's because there was a little shelf that was not proper in the locking nut itself. So what I did is I took from a Floyd Rose special kit back here on the wall that I have, the same place I got this bar from, and I installed a new locking nut and put that on. Now the locking nut that was on it, it was just a tooling mistake, almost looks like. So I sanded that down. It's sitting over here. It's better. I could use it now, but we already had this one, so we just threw that on to get it done. And that's about it in a nutshell. So what you're hearing was this guitar. The reason I chose the blues and not to do Eddie Van Halen, because if we do something heavier, right, we're gonna lose. Everybody's gonna complain. You can't win sometimes. They're gonna complain. Oh, I can't tell what it sounds like because it's too heavy or too distorted. So I tried to find a happy medium, give you guys some reverb. The pickup's hot, keep that in mind. So this pickup is hot. So when you hear any squealing, even with the little blues, simple blues riff, and I try to keep it simple blues riffs, and you hear the guitar squealing, it's because that pickup is so hot. But it's not so hot where I can't sit in front of the amp, and it's cranked up pretty good. I wasn't wearing headphones to listen to the track. I was wearing headphones because the room noise was so loud. I was trying to protect my hearing a little bit. So that's why I had the headphones on. There was nothing coming out of those headphones. I could still hear everything. So that's why. And I don't have my regular earplugs in the studio right now. So that's why I did that. So just so you know. And am I happy with the guitar? I'm very happy with the guitar. I like the guitar. It's cool. It's a cool conversation piece. As you guys know, it set this channel on fire. It kind of set the internet on fire, and a lot of controversy about this guitar. Now, we'll go back to this. Is it like an EVH? It's not. It's got a similar stripe pattern. It's not the same. It's not identical. There's so much about this guitar that's not the same. It's not even funny, but I still hold true to that. This particular one's relicing is a really good and was better than the one at Guitar Center, the real one at Guitar Center. I still hold to that statement. Now the quality of the body and stuff, well, let's face it, Eddie's was a second body as original one. So what are we comparing it to? Are we comparing it to Eddie's original one? I don't know. I've never had that in my hands. Are we comparing it to what EVH is putting out? Well, it feels good to me. This feels really good to me. Would I change this trem system out? No, I see no point in changing the tremolo to an upgraded one because it's holding. Remember, this is a flush mount trem, so it's coming back every time, and it's sitting flush. It's sitting flat. It works the way it's supposed to. It's not floating. So that's good. That's a good thing. It helps with tuning stability. Now, maybe if it was floating, we would have to change it. Maybe it wouldn't have its stability, but it works out great. Another thing on this one that I see, pictures are coming in of you guys who have bought these, and a lot of your relicing is, just different. I've seen ones with so much relicing stain on the neck and the headstock that it was black. My advice to you is when you change your strings, take that off, take some light sandpaper, get that off there, put it to your liking, how you like it, and that's what I did. I did myself here, even on the fretboard when I was polishing the frets. I made sure that I took a lot of the darkening off of the fretboard because I wanted it just in the spots where it would be kind of grimy if you were actually using it for years and years. And I think it turned out pretty good. It's not overdone, but it's not underdone. The cigarette burns were something that, well, honestly, I didn't do it even with a cigarette. I did it with actually a long lighter and just held it there, burn off the finish and burn into it. Don't do it with strings on because you're going to break it. The heat will snap your strings instantly, just so you know. So make sure you do it with your strings off. Even if you want to pull your tuners so you don't overheat your tuners or anything like that, that's what I did. So you can do that also. Action's great on this guitar. It's perfect. I love it. It's great for me. Everybody keeps saying change the pickup. I really don't see a point in changing the pickup. I think the pickup does exactly what it's supposed to do, especially in a situation where I just showed you with everything on, wireless system, amp cranked up, ceiling fans on, you name it, everything that could possibly interfere. Air conditioner going on in the other room that's very loud. Now it's off so I can talk to you, but everything I could do to create interference just to see what the electrical interfered with on this really must be obviously a cheap pickup, right? But it worked well. So I'm not going to change a thing when it comes to that. I think we're done, maybe exception for tuners. I'm definitely not doing EVH tuners. I might do Goda tuners. But other than that, I think that this guitar itself is done. I lied. One more thing. We will put a 71 quarter on here when I come across one. And we'll put this up. This is a 1941. And it is a silver quarter. So keep that in mind. Really odd that they used those on there. I don't know if they used them on all of them or not. This one's actually very tarnished. But I did pull it off. It is legit. And it's just kind of funny that the Chinese use 1941 silver quarters on the guitar. The guitar body itself is fantastic. I think it's relicked great. They did do some kind of clear over the relicking afterwards, and it's a matte though. It's definitely a matte clear, but you can feel it almost like an epoxy clear. It's cool. It's durable. It's got a really nice weight. I like everything about this guitar. I'm not sorry I purchased it for $303. I know the seller. Everybody keeps asking about the seller. Seller is who the seller is. It was in the link to the unboxing video, and I told everybody that they sold out so quick. I was getting word they sold out of these guitars so quickly after that video. Mostly was after when Fender had a fit about me unboxing. People immediately went there and they started buying these things up because they were pissed at Fender, and rightfully so, to try to dictate what a channel will unbox and won't unbox. Keep in mind, this is an unbranded guitar. It's an unlogoed guitar. There's no serial numbers. So they were pissed about the paint job, stripes. So don't buy anything with stripes unless you want to get yelled at by the guitar gods. So just keep that in mind. Although there's a ton of them for sale on Reverb that people have built, way more accurate than this thing. It's just kind of weird. And not to mention the money that we put into these guitars and their aftermarket parts and their pots and their straps and you name it, right? Lots of stuff. I mean, I was going to go as far as to buy an EVH case for this now. Not going to happen now. Now it's just going to hang on the wall, and it's a guitar that I really don't care if it gets beat up because it's already beat up, right? As long as it plays good. So that's the fact, Jack. And I want to thank each and every one of you for stopping by again at Fulton Street Beats, because you guys are really pushing this channel forward. You really like the real content, and I'm bringing it to you. Now, listen, the whole Chibson thing, just so you know, this is just a part of the channel we're going through right now, because you guys really, really like them. And I did a poll, and 98% of you guys really like Chibson content because you're curious, as was I, about the build quality of Chibson in 2023. And so far, knock on wood, it's been really good, with the exception of a couple things here and there, you know. But quality-wise and quality control-wise, it's been very, very good. It wasn't like the past. I've had many in the past that just weren't, you know, up to snuff. These are, the new ones have been. Now, are they all? Well, I haven't had them all, so I can't speak, but the ones that I've had are, with maybe small imperfections here and there. Now, to somebody who's used to high-end guitars and you see a small imperfection, they immediately attack that imperfection, but they don't attack the imperfections on their high-end guitars. And there's plenty of them, as I have shown through previous videos, with high-end brands and lots of imperfections and quality control problems. So I would expect some quality control issues on a budget guitar, but I'm not seeing them on the off-brand budget guitars like I am on the name brand budget guitars, and even on the expensive guitars from name brands. So times they are a-changing, as you all know, and it is what it is, and people can look at a video and say, that's junk, I don't like your video, but the fact is, it's not in your hand, and you don't know. You don't know what it is, because you don't have it. But we do get the comments where people say, I had, and that when you get a comment and that starts out with I, immediately I know it's not worth the time that they took to write it. When it starts out with I, you always know that it's not going to be useful information. I had one, or I did this, or I did. No, we don't care what that one time is. My job is to bring you things multiple times so we can make informed decisions and have something based in a little bit of reality. And so far, 99, and that's right, 99, we've had one bad guitar come through, and it wasn't even the guitar's fault. One bad, actually, let me take that back. We'd say 98%, because we've had 2 knockoff guitars come through here with issues. And both of those guitars, the issues were due to shipping problems. And a lot of people had a hard time understanding that too. FedEx destroys guitars all the time. It is bad. Now, not just the budget guitars. I've had high-end guitars come destroyed from FedEx. It just happens here. I don't know why. I don't know what the deal is. I even have packages that come opened, things stolen out of them. It's insane. If you watch this channel, you're watching unboxings, you know that. We have amplifiers missing out of kits, out of boxes. Amps gone. Poof. Gone. Crazy stuff. So it happens. We had a broken neck on the Chibson. It wasn't the Chibson. Somebody says because they use junk wood. No. But if that's the case, then we're going to say every Gibson's junk because their headstocks break when you breathe on them. Right? That's not the case. If they tip over and they break, they hit, they break. It's your fault for knocking it over and breaking it. So that's how it really is. Is it junk? No. Could they be made better? Yes, definitely. But anything could be made better. But this neck was snapped right up in here. Somebody actually stepped on the box. That's why we had a big footprint on the box. So we know what happened, and it was follow the FedEx, not the shipper, not the company. Although the company I did get it from, the seller, was a horrible seller. But I digress. So anyhow, do I recommend these guitars? Well, in the guitar god's eyes, I'd have to say no. But in the eyes of a consumer, here in the United States, a consumer of guitars and trying to get something that's good for the money, I do recommend them. You're an adult, you can make your own choices. That's the way I look at it. And we always get the argument, the China argument, and it's so funny. I get called so many names. I'm a communist. They'll say that I just bought, support them, and I'm supporting their military. And I mean, it's insane. To those people, I kind of want to put you in check a little bit. So this guitar or any Chibson is supporting the communist government? Well, okay, then maybe we should tell our government not to borrow trillions of dollars from them. So is my buying a guitar worse than our government borrowing every day from China? So we got to look at things in a realistic light. It's a guitar, and everything we consume or have today, most of it comes from China. And that's not the people's fault. That's our government's fault. So they're the ones that do the trading the most, and one hand washes the other, right? So we'll just put that in perspective. And that makes everybody mad, because how can it be our wonderful government? Because that's the way it is. That's the way politics work. And I'm not going to not play a guitar because of government politics. I'm going to buy what I like, and you can buy what you like. If you want to buy American, you buy American. I have nothing wrong with buying. There's nothing wrong with buying American, but I'm not going to buy American crap because it's American. I'll buy something else that's a lot cheaper, even if it's going to be crap. If it's cheap crap, it's better than expensive crap. Ooh, that's a good one right there. I like that. Cheap crap is better than expensive crap because, well, you're not paying for it. You're not paying a lot for it. All right, guys, thanks for Fulton Street Beats. I love every single one of you. Remember, on your way up, please hit that like button, share, subscribe, and let me know if you guys want to see some live streams. Maybe we can do some live stuff if you'd like. And remember, it's rock and roll. It makes the world better. Do that twirly thing. Of course, that's not true, but I don't want to get fact-checked on it. So, peace, guys. Bye.